Welcome to Story Punk. I am Scott.
And I am Drew.
Today we are here to talk about the 2019 movie Parasite, which won a bunch of awards.
Sure did.
And just to give us a little summary, I actually kind of came up with this one based on some of the stuff I saw out there. But the movie Parasite follows the struggling Kim family who gradually infiltrate the wealthy Park family's household by posing as unrelated skilled workers, setting off a high-tension collision of class ambition, deception, and chaos. It's directed by, oh God, did I spell this right? Is it Bong Joon Ho?
Bong Joon Ho.
Bong Joon. Why did I put Boon? Ugh. Anyway, Bong. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Bong Joon Ho.
He's done a lot of great movies.
No, he has, and
Memories
I
of Murder,
I really
and The Host, and Mother, and Snowpiercer, and Oakjaw, and Parasite. I have not seen Mickey 17 yet.
I do want to see that. That's one of those.
I'm curious about it too.
Yeah, that's on my list to see. I think it's on HBO Max right now, I believe.
That sounds right. It's also on Blu-ray at your library.
This movie won Best Picture, Best Director, Best Screenplay, and Best International Feature for the 2000.
Best Picture of the Oscars?
I was getting ready to say
wow.
The 2020 Oscars. If you let me, give me a second. Yeah, the 2020 Oscars, and all well deserved. And it's interesting. It also won basically the same categories for the BAFTAs. Mm-hmm. Except the BAFTA, it's best non-English is their international category. The two Oscars that it lost out to was for production design, which I'm surprised. I don't know. I'd like to know. I didn't look to see what it won. Won for production design.
Yeah, it's quite
because the production design
film.
was very.
Let's see.
And it also lost for editing.
Best production design went to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And it was up against Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, 1917, and Parasite. And what did you say it won? It also
lost editing.
Well, editing went to Ford v Ferrari, and it was also up against Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, and Joker.
I thought Ford v Ferrari was okay. It was definitely.
I liked it.
It was definitely not.
I just love Tracy Letts. So.
Yeah, I mean he's good, but it's just. I don't know. I to be honest with you, I found F1 the movie to be infinitely more entertaining. But anyway,
it is faster.
It is true. But production design. I mean, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I guess Hollywood. Hollywood loves them some Hollywood, and so. I guess I'm not surprised, but I'm also disappointed because the production design in this movie I thought was excellent. And
it's a lot of excellence.
Yes, I do. I mean, I have to say, like some of the cinematography coming out of these South Korean movies is
gorgeous.
So good. It's like, it's just the care in the cinematography is just is unmatched. This film is I saw it described as class immobility disguised as class mobility. I was like, I kind of like that idea because it seems like you think people are getting somewhere, but they're really not. It's sort of like this movie is I found this movie like
that you had not seen before.
I had not seen this before, and what I like about this movie is that I have ADHD and I tend to pick up on patterns, and so what happens for me with a lot of movies is that, and it's also because I've watched a lot of movies, so I don't think it's like anything special that. When you watch a lot of movies and you have ADHD and you recognize patterns, you see things and you're like, okay, I know what's going to happen here. And so I'll jump just a little bit ahead. But like I will tell you, so you're watching a movie and you see a situation, you see a scenario set up where, okay, these people have infiltrated this rich family and they're
These poor people.
Yes.
These terrible poors. Ugh. Gross.
All right, let me say what I have to say. Let me just talk. So they go and the family goes on a camping trip, and the poor family goes into the house and they're making a mess. Now, of course, what do you think's going to happen? They're making a very obvious attempt to show you that they're in this house, they're making a mess, they're drinking and doing all this stuff. Of course, the family is going to come back, and on top of that, it's a camping trip and it starts raining, so definitely they're going to come back. But here's what I will say, and on top of that, they also start talking about this family, as we were saying in the description, they infiltrate the house by they first start as two of the family members, the son and daughter, become tutors, and then the father and mother become they replace the driver and the housekeeper. So this they talk about the poor people that were in these jobs before, like, I'm sure they'll be fine. So once again, yet another thing that they're kind of putting in your face, and you're like, okay, well, I'm sure those people are going to come into play somehow. So you see all that, knowing all this, you can still not predict where the fuck this movie's going to go in the third act, because I'm sitting there and I'm feeling like, okay, I'm like, I know where we're going. I know where we're going here. And man, it's like, and this is what I kind of like. It's like, yeah, it's going to go there, but it's not going to go.
It's genuinely shocking.
It's going to go even further than you think it's going to go. And that's what I loved about this movie. I was like, this is like, it's like the director was in on it with you, where it's like, oh, you think it's going to go here? Yeah, it's going to go there, and it's going to go much further. And I was like, holy shit. I couldn't, like, when you get to the part where they let the old, and it's pouring down rain, they let the old, and I know I'm jumping ahead, but I've just got to like talk about it. They let the old innkeeper in. She goes in the basement, and then they go down, and she's like wedged in between the cabinets, and you're like, the fuck is going on here? And that, from that point on, like,
and you really don't know what's going to be next.
Like, then you have.
Well, yeah, I think this director, Bong Joon Ho, a lot of his movies are, and this is not like in a way that's bad. A lot of his movies are like that. They are genuinely surprising. I don't know how many
unhinged.
of them. Well, but I mean, like,
in all the good ways. Unhinged.
Like genuinely surprising, but not out of left field. What's happening? This is bullshit kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, there are plenty of movies that do that. Like,
but no, I mean, he's really good at that, and I think Snowpiercer definitely has some of that. I think Memories of Murder is probably his best film.
Yeah, that has the the actor that plays the father.
Yes,
the father of the Kim family.
Yes. He's done a number of movies with
I think he's
Song Kang Ho.
Movies.
Well, let's see, he's in
because he's in Snowpiercer also.
He's in Snowpiercer, and he's in Memories of Murder, and he's in The Host.
Yeah.
So it's at least 4 of them.
Yeah, but I mean, this is like this movie, which is like, this is crazy. When God, I feel like I'm jumping so far ahead, but it was just. I just, like I said, it was so surprising in all the best ways. So I kind of really got off track here with thematically. This whole idea, it wasn't the whole idea, but one of the things in this movie that we see too, and this is sort of really what part of what we see laid out, and and sets things off towards the end of the movie, is this idea of sort of this dehumanizing of, which I feel like this has been a theme of a lot of our movies lately, and I have to wonder, is it because of the environment that we're in now that we're seeing that? Not that because we're seeing this even in the older movies. So is it because of we're kind of being conditioned and we're looking for this in movies, or is it like, have these been in You know what I mean? Like, are we just, is this the lens we're looking at it now because of what we're experiencing now? Or do you think that sometimes this stuff is just
What do you mean this stuff? Like,
well, I'm talking about like the dehumanizing. Like how many times have we said? I feel like in the last like probably like 2 months, or like maybe like in the last like 10 episodes, ever since we were getting into like The Long Walk, and it's like The Long Walk and The Running Man and even Outland and like these older movies.
Gotcha.
It's not just thematically this idea of like this end stage capitalism. Dehumanization of workers or game show contestants or whatever. It's like, it seems like it's a theme that keeps coming up. Well,
everything is Black Mirror.
I know, but I'm saying like we even talked about it in Outland, and Outland was, they made Outland in 1981. So it's like, part of me wonders, is it because we're looking at it through that lens because of what we're experiencing right now? Or is this stuff just always been written into like, is this always a view that people...
Well, that's the experience of modern capitalist life, which is beyond our generation. It's multiple generations.
I know.
And it's that there are winners and losers, and if you don't have the money, then you're a loser, and you're a worker, and your only value is what you give to give the people with money more money, which is why the way the rich family is portrayed in this, like, they're not abusive assholes.
No, yeah.
They're just, it's very, in a way that exists in America, but we pretend doesn't. It's very class oriented. It could be Downton Abbey. Like, you know your role. I don't think you're beneath me because you're poor, but you're not. You're not me.
And Mr. Park makes it very clear, because he talks about, first of all, there's the whole thing about the smell, which is like that is a
poor people
theme.
smell. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, like that shows up probably about maybe a third of the way through the movie. The son notices it, and then it keeps coming up. But also, like what you're talking about, as he talks about a line, he doesn't cross that line.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking specifically the father of the rich family. That's probably the best way to keep it straight for people listening here. So Mr. Park, the father of the rich family, talks about the like that he likes Mr. Kim, the father of the poor family, because he knows that he comes up to the line, but he doesn't cross the line. And he appreciates that. And I was like, Jesus, what a shitty thing to say. This guy is driving you all over town.
Yeah, you know your place. That's what they want.
And that was very much a, something that we see throughout the whole movie. And it is and it's ultimately that the class thing that is really the undoing of the Park family at the end. Is this sort of this disdain for poor people, and it just kind of sets Mr. Kim off at the end.
Yep.
And so you should be nice to people.
Well, also, I mean, the way the movie ends is that they discover this crazy secret, which is the scene you're talking about with the housemaid, whatever, trying to get into the cabinets and stuff. And at the end of the movie, the character that's revealed in there is dead. He's just been replaced. Yeah. So even the people that aren't supposed to be in the house of the wealthy family are where they're supposed to be in their role, being quiet. Like, he can communicate by flashing the lights. That's it. Yeah. So like everybody is trapped somewhere.
I think it's interesting that they when I think about this movie, I actually didn't find too much on. I'm sure it's out there, but as far as the inspiration for this, it seems like something you would see in one of those like weird news stories where it's like, man's murderer hides for 20 years in the basement of his house or something like that. Yeah. And it's like, to be able to come up with a story like this movie is just. Yeah, I mean, I can't.
I'm glad that you liked it so much. I mean, it's an excellent film. Before you suggested it, I hadn't realized that you had never seen it.
Yeah,
I thought, you're in for a treat.
I know. It's like, honestly, it was like, All the movies from about like 2015 on, I have a lot of gaps in my movie my viewing history. So this is definitely one of the ones I've been wanting to see ever since it came out. I was like, this seems really interesting. The title, let's talk about the title is perfect because I saw it and I was like, when I saw the title, I was like, this seems over the top. But this title is, I mean, you could not be any more. This is slowly but surely takes over the host until he kills it, really, is what it comes down to. It's the perfect...
or the wealthy family are the parasites that feed on the people, and then there are more people that have less, that they look down on them.
Well, I mean,
it could go either way because they do feed off of each other. Only one of them pretends that they're not feeding off the other.
Yeah,
that everybody's in their
well,
place.
Then they would have called it symbiotic.
Right, that's true. Well, but they're feeding on each other and feeding off each other it's not beneficial to both. And it turns out it's not beneficial to either of them because you can get stabbed.
Yeah, that's true.
And you shouldn't wear headdresses and stuff. It's not your culture. So
I know. I was like, what are they doing here?
Meanwhile, I will say I haven't watched the movie in a long time. I got the Criterion edition. It's a beautiful edition of a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
That house, which is not a real house, they built that house for the movie.
Yes.
Is ridiculous.
I can't believe
it's
that.
Beautiful.
Even yet another reason that I'm surprised it did not win for production design. I mean, that is.
To me, I remember that year. It would have come down to me. Like, I understood why Once Upon a Time in Hollywood won, and there's some really great stuff in it. But to me, it would have come down to this or 1917, because those movies made whole worlds that felt real to me.
Yeah.
And this 1917 is like World War I. And you may have a sense of what that's supposed to look like, but it became very real. And it wasn't, that was a movie that didn't, for me, I didn't get constantly distracted by the fact that there was no editing. Usually that's a technique that distracts me. But then I saw this movie, Parasite, and I was like, this movie is gorgeous and also feels very alien because it's clearly in another country, in another culture, but it's also like, this is how the wealthiest people live, because that's how they think they're supposed to live. Because at the end, what is a German family buy the house? They don't know the story of it or whatever, but it's like some other rich people from some other place came to South Korea for work and bought the really expensive home that's the really nice home. And it's not a joke, like, it's not a Scandinavian IKEA home or something, even though that implies that Scandinavian architecture is cheap when it isn't. We know it's just blocky. But this home is so beautiful. Like, I'm not from South Korea. But I go, wow, this, like, I would think that's a gorgeous home if it was next door to me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to live in the basement for 20 years, but it's a whole world.
Yeah. It was
not subtly so.
Yeah. And so the plot of this movie, it's almost like it's set up like it's going to be a and this is what I thought initially, and it goes this way for a while. I thought it was going to be like a con movie, you know, what I mean? Where it's like almost like now this is the first thing that came to mind. So I didn't think it was going to be like this movie in tone, but like Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Mm-hmm. It was going to be something like that, where it's going to be like these people get their hooks into this rich family, and it was going to be...
And all of a sudden, Rupert has to go to the bathroom.
Because why does he have a cork on the
fork? A cork on a fork.
So that's what you think it's going to be. And let me ask you, I have to ask, what did you think about... I was a little unclear on the age of the daughter of the Park family and the son, the Kims. Like, what is that age difference there?
Oh, I don't know.
Because I'm sitting there, I'm going like, is there like? Because at first I thought he was a little bit older. Because I got the impression she was like maybe a freshman in high school and he was like college age, and I'm like, that's a little weird. So like he had graduated, because the idea was he graduated college. So I'm like,
right.
Oh, is she like 14 or 15 and he's like in his early 20s?
Well, it's hard to know because they're they feel like real children, but they're also really good liars and con artists.
Yeah.
Because they have to survive. To me, that's why the real parasites are the rich family, because they only exist on the labor of these people that they exploit, even if they don't think of them like that, even if they think like, we're giving these poor people jobs, we're good people, blah, blah, blah. They do what you want to do and you live your own life. And so that the reversal of what the parasite is, because the movie is not as simple as saying this group of people are the monsters and this group of people are the good guys.
That's true.
And that's realistic, because you could say, wow, that family, they did that thing to that wealthy person's house that they shouldn't have done. It's illegal. It's whatever. It's stealing. Except that their house is a flooded shithole and they can't afford anything, including regular healthy food. So I understand it. Like Jean Valjean stole bread.
Yeah.
He didn't steal a Ferrari.
Yeah.
So, it's hard for me to see it as their villain or not, but it's easier the higher up you are to look down and say these people are trash, these people are thieves, these people are parasites, when the only reason you have your life is because you have people like your housekeeper that lives there and these kids that teach your child and this guy who drives you around and all that stuff.
I think that there's also the connotation of the rich people being the parasites is something that we just because it's something that we see and we know. Like, I don't necessarily know if I get that from watching this movie. I think I get that more from just like life in general.
I get that. I mean, I definitely get that from the movie, but it is also everywhere. I don't know why we would say that. But
what do you mean?
I don't know what's going on in the world that makes.
I got you.
But
this movie is it also kind of sets up. There's almost like for as bad off as you think, you have the situation where you have these people. I think one of the reasons that you do see, like you said, it is hard to say that like they're like the bad guys, the Kims, but I mean they do, even though that they have bad circumstances, they they do start off to intentionally be deceptive. So I think that's why.
No, what they're doing is criminal. But something is criminal doesn't mean it's evil.
Well, yeah, and so I will tell you, this is an interesting thing that I saw. There was an experiment done. It's a monopoly experiment where what they did was they gave. I can't remember. I think it was like they may have done. It may have only been like 100 people, but I still think the results are interesting. What they did was in the game they gave like 1 or 2 people twice as much money as you're supposed to start out with, and in almost all cases, those people would start talking about how they were better at the game.
Oh,
and I was like. That's interesting. That's an interesting thing to go. Now, maybe, I mean, obviously 100 people, I think it was, I don't know the exact sample size. I do think it was something probably like 100 people, which is not a huge sample size. But it is interesting to note that, people that start off with more money automatically start thinking like, oh, I'm better at this game. It's like, well, no shit, dude. Right. You started out with twice as much money as me.
Right. I'm a good ball player, but you were born on third base.
They were also less likely to let people like not have to pay rent. Like they landed on their properties. There were just a lot of things, and you know what? Hey, it's a game, and but. It does.
You're talking about the game Monopoly.
Yeah.
The whole point of the game is that one person wins and everyone else is destroyed, and you're supposed to get a lesson.
I thought it was to throw the board in anger across the room.
Well, you can because you lost. I mean, the whole point of the game is not look who won. The whole point of the game is only one of you can win, and we'll only do that by destroying the rest of you. So you're supposed to play that and go, whoa. Uncontrolled capitalism is bad. Unfortunately, like the people who watch Fight Club and miss the point, a lot of people also miss the point.
Yeah,
because that's the problem with this country is that people think, well, you can't make this person who's $1 billion do this thing that's right because I could be a billionaire. It's like, no, you can't.
I know. That's
There's no opportunity.
They're
for
temporarily embarrassed. Millionaire.
That's like the whole pull yourself up by the bootstraps thing. is not only is that bullshit, it's originally a phrase that's supposed to sound ridiculous.
Yes,
like
that
you can't pull
that was
yourself
the whole
up by
thing.
your
People don't
bootstraps.
realize the pull your. Yeah, that was it. Was a
Was it from the 19th
it was some kind of like
century or something?
it was like I think it was some kind of like a. Oh God, I think it was some kind of psychology thing that was supposed to be like the pull yourself up bootstraps because since it couldn't be done, it was meant to be like
sarcastic joke. Mm-hmm.
And then people like for some reason, I don't know, they ran with it, but it doesn't surprise me.
Well, maybe somebody said I could pick myself up off the ground by tugging my shoes, and they did it.
Yeah.
And everyone thought, "Oh my God, they're amazing."
And then they said, "Could God create a boulder so large that he could not lift it himself?" Which, you know what? There is actually an answer to that question.
It's a good one.
The question is, the answer to that question is, if God is perfect, God would do that. And I was like, okay, I don't know, is that the easy way out? But I guess if you believe God is perfect, then why would he do that? That would be dumb. I'll go along with that one.
Excuse me. Well, let's pretend anyway. So.
That's true. That's true. It's like, do you believe in the Flash? So
Yeah.
it's like Gandalf. So
No, hey.
I'm sorry.
Don't mess with the Valar.
I know. Hold on. Sorry.
Which Gandalf? The gray or the white?
Hey, look, don't get racist. Sorry, I lost my fidget toy.
Well, then Saruman the white ends up in conflict with Gandalf the white, so it's white on white crime.
Oh God, we can't have that.
Told you to take the wizard's staff.
So, anyway, let's talk about the movie.
What movie? Parasite, the documentary about our times.
Yes. No. What was it? But but to see the
I can't believe this movie's only 7 years old or whatever. Like, it could have come out last year. It could have come out. 20 years ago.
Or that it is that old,
or both. I mean, this movie would have been a contemporary and relevant any time in the past 20-25 years.
Yeah, I think this movie is. I do. I am a big fan. I was telling my wife, I was like, this movie is like completely unhinged. I watched it. I was like, because I remember because she was like, what are you watching? And I was like, oh, and I was telling her, and I said, and I was at the point where it was right when you find out that there is there's a room in the basement, and I said, this movie's getting crazy. And then I was like, and then when I was done, and then I was like, because at that point I think there was like 50 minutes left in the movie or something like that. And then it was like, and I said, I was like, oh my God, I said, you don't even know half of it. It was crazier than I thought it was going to be.
That was the beginning of crazy.
I know.
And
yeah,
you were already, you're already riveted by the movie and it's fascinating. And then it's like, also will go in a wonderful way right off the rails.
I know. Definitely right off the rails. And the damn kid, look, first he slips, and that's why the old housekeeper sees them, and then he drops the damn rock, and then how come he just dropped the rock on his head? I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the movie is very violent.
Yeah, it is.
Which is the only way to confront the ultra capitalists that control our lives. But this movie is.
Drew said that.
It doesn't make it sound like if you do that, it works out for everybody. Because at the end of the movie, you've got one dead kid, one missing father who we know is trapped in the house, and then one kid with a head injury that doesn't seem to have any idea what's going on anymore.
Wait, did I'm trying to remember now. Did Mr. Park die too?
I'm talking about the poor family that gets torn apart. The poor family.
Okay, yeah.
That gets torn apart.
I got you.
With a dead one and an injured one. Those are the kids. And then the missing father, who everybody knows is missing. I mean, everybody thinks he's missing except us because we see where he is. And then somebody sees the lights. Who is it? I can't remember.
The sun goes up.
Figures it out,
right?
And he's like, Dad. Basically, yeah, that's right.
So
maybe the only way to navigate this world is to get a severe brain injury.
I guess so. Oh, I was also curious. So, what was the point? And I think I missed this part. Why was he the husband of the old housekeeper? Why was he lighting the lights as Mr. Park went up the steps. What was the point of that?
I think that maybe they're supposed to be automatic or something.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was
made it
wondering.
welcoming
Like,
or something. I mean, he's down there because his wife is trying to protect him.
Yeah.
But also he's down there because I don't know if you could tell he's not well.
I gathered.
So, I mean, he may want to communicate with some kind of outside world with Morse code, but then you discover he doesn't really know Morse code, or it's like the whole thing is just like it's. There's a lot of people in this movie of the various levels of wealth and comfort that their lives are very hard and very sad.
Yeah,
and
I know I felt really bad for the wife that she she had to walk through the store. I know because she
had a party and it sucked.
I know it was like
there's so much murder.
I know I have to. Oh my God, I have so much to do. I have to plan this party. Oh, what about when? Oh my God! So the wife, Kim, the wife, when she's like, she's like the poor woman is she's opening up the tables, and the husband, like, because I'm just the type of person, like, if I saw somebody like that, I would help him. He's like, can you keep it down? Like,
yeah.
It's like, what a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the same guy who's like, we've got to move this person at the party of the violence. Oh,
I know.
It smells terrible. I hope somebody stabs you. Oh, never mind.
I know. It was like the whole thing with like it was so like with him and his wife, like it was so obnoxious the way that they were like averting their noses to the offending smell. I was like, geez, I was like, oh my God. And they wonder why they hate the rich people. Like,
I mean, I have volunteered or worked with various populations of people from various places, and some of them have been healthier or had better hygiene or smelled better. It never occurred to me to think they were less human. And then you realize that these wealthy people in this movie, they were never human to them.
Yeah.
So if you're never human, then you do your job and you stay out of my way and you nod. But you made it stinky? Ew. You're just
so
now you're
weird.
disrupting my life.
When I was in high school,
to me that's a very vivid, even though you can't smell it, that's a very vivid Bong Joon Ho touch. Like that gives it another layer of experiencing the movie of how the rich people view the poor people and how the poor people are made to feel.
Yeah.
Like part of their being lower is like they're just dirty, they're stinky, whatever.
I know, yeah, because it's like that's what people that ride the subway smell.
Like it makes sense that like that's literally what makes the father of the poor family be like, oh fuck this, I'm gonna stab you.
I know.
Right? Like that's what sets him off, right? He like sees the reaction and he's just like, no, it's clobbering time. So I get it.
It's stabbing time.
Time.
I mean, it's
stabbering time.
I was really, I thought that was as we were saying, like it is that dehumanization that is, and it's so casual that I just. Yeah, it's hard to imagine that there are people out there that do that, but they do. I mean, I shouldn't say it's hard to imagine. It's not hard to imagine, but I guess I say that because I can't wrap my mind around it.
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't say that I can't wrap my mind around it. I don't want to.
Those are two different things. Yeah.
Yes, and I think that's what it is that you want everybody to be. To get along and to respect people, and unfortunately, that's not what we're what we find ourselves in. So, are there some story element stuff that you wanted to talk about?
I mean, I think the biggest thing about why the story works, not just for me but for anybody, is that it is it's there's a lot of story. It's very wisely portioned out.
Yes.
There's whole worlds of the movie that are going on that you literally don't know till like what you said, like it's 50 minutes left and this is crazy, and then that wasn't even the real crazy kind of thing.
I know.
But also it's an interesting movie because there's an inevitability of tragedy and doom.
Yeah.
But you have no idea
how
they're going to get there. And when you start to see it finally I don't know what the right word is. It unfurls, it's revealed, it blossoms, whatever. Not only is it genuinely not what you expected, there's no part of that makes you feel like, oh, it's a ripoff or they fooled me. It's just like, I really didn't know where this was going to go. This is such completely insane storytelling, and that's just very satisfying. It's just a really satisfying story, well told, which is the best kind of story you can tell. And I genuinely hope this is one of those movies. This is one of the years like the Oscars got it right. Like this is an excellent movie. I would like to think maybe it won't be relevant in 100 years, but it will be.
What was the what were the other movies that were nominated for Best Picture?
Let's take a look. I mean, I know it was like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and The Irishman. And
Oh, you didn't enjoy the 3 hour? 3 hour.
Was it only 3 hours?
Yeah, with de-aging and whatever.
Oh, well, I did like the scene where Robert De Niro got angry that the grocery store owner hit his daughter, so he went back there, and then he was supposed to be a young man kicking this guy in the street, but he had the 70-something body as he's walking. I was like, what are you doing? This is stupid. Let's see, Best Picture was Parasite, Ford v. Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So some very good choices. Like Marriage Story is excellent.
Marriage Story.
Jojo Rabbit is good. Ford v. Ferrari I found entertaining. I did not see Greta Gerwig's Little Women. I liked 1917. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think it's a good movie and it's entertaining with a killer ending. Like really killer ending, which makes you think that the whole experience was better. I mean, Brad Pitt and a pit bull destroying the Manson family is super satisfying.
I just feel like I'm really anxious to see the Cliff Booth movie. I wonder how that's gonna.
Yeah, I'm not anxious about that at all. Okay. Like I'm curious, but there was nothing in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that made me see, I need more of this. I need more of that. So it could be good. Don't get me wrong.
I think the reason because I like Brad Pitt as an actor.
He's very pretty.
I'll tell you why I'm anxious to see
David who?
David Fincher.
Never heard of him.
I am anxious to see someone like at David Fincher's level directing a Quentin Tarantino script.
That's true. That is interesting.
Because the only other person I've ever seen directed
was Tony Scott. For True Romance.
Well, there's Tony Scott and Robert Rodriguez.
Oh, right.
And that's it. That's
I would be more interested in this Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I don't know. Is it prequel, sequel, spinoff?
No, this is after.
Oh, it is after.
This is after. Yeah.
If David Fincher has to do more Mindhunter first. So every time he does another movie instead of doing another season of Mindhunter, I'm just a little disappointed in him.
Yeah.
Did you watch that show?
No, I did not.
Oh my God. Unbelievable.
Well, you know what it is? I was curious to watch it, and then they were like, "Oh, well, we're probably not going to do any more." And I was like, whenever I hear that, whenever I hear that,
especially Netflix,
it really makes it hard for me to get into it. Even if everybody tells me that what has been done is really good, it makes it really hard, and I don't know why. And I will freely admit,
I know why, because it doesn't have an end. And you would like to know there was. You could get to an end and go, I didn't like that ending. But like if you watch the OA on Netflix, it doesn't have an end. Mindhunter doesn't have an end.
Oh, okay. I thought they did have an end, and they just.
If you give me another season, you could write a season of the OA and write a season of Mindhunter that do have endings. But when they finished it, they weren't like, especially the OA. The ending of the second season is so crazy and like weird and. Oh, I want to know what's next, which was how the first season ended. And then we got another season. And now we'll never know what they were thinking with the second season of the OA ending. And Mindhunter's like, that's never going to come back. Mindhunter, it's David Fincher. If he decides he wants to do it, Netflix will do it kind of thing. But, it's based on history and interviewing real serial killers for the profile and all that kind of stuff. So you can look at it and go like, I know what happened. Yeah. But it's really well done. And we'll never know what happened to that kitten that the FBI agent kept hearing outside, which makes me sad. But this movie, it's just every award it won it deserves. It's really great. And it was exciting. Like I like Korean film a lot. And Bong Joon Ho's, I still think his best movie is Memories of Murder, which we should. I'd be happy to do an episode on it.
I'd be up for
it. That's like, what if Silence of the Lambs, but mostly vibes,
Yeah.
And that's based on a true story of cops were finding these dead bodies, and we didn't know who did it. And years after the movie came out, they actually caught someone, finally. But the whole movie is not so much about like, let's find the murderer and get justice. It's like what happens to these guys when they are trying to investigate something that does not have an end, that may not have an end, that may never have an end. That's in the real world at the time, the story it was based on didn't have an end. There was no justice. There was no anything. And this movie, Parasite, is about great injustice and people that suck get killed, but there's no justice in this world. I mean, even at the end, you see this guy's in court for his crime. Well, he's got a traumatic brain injury. Like, he's not even going to understand. Yeah. He's giggling, right? Yeah. Like, he's laughing. And not because he's a jerk, but because he's brain damaged. So, that's this world where justice is very hard to find, hard to come by. And I think that makes the movie feel, unfortunately, as relevant as ever. Because I think there's a lot of things going on in this world right now with people that will never actually see justice. And there's a lot of people that, friends and family will say things like, oh, he's going to end up in jail. I'm like, it literally is impossible. Yeah. It's impossible that this person will get punished the way that they deserve to get punished. They will be brought to justice. And the scale of the injustice and the crimes in this movie is very small, but obviously it represents the way our Western world and the Eastern wealthy part of the world
apparently
is organized.
It's very, that was one of the things they talked about in the research that I was doing, that it's very, the South Korea is very hyper-capitalistic.
Oh, yeah. So, it's both very familiar to what we would recognize in this country, but also extreme versions of it that we would not, which is what you see in No Other Choice. Yeah. It's very rigid. I happen to be talking about No Other Choice.
It's almost like a caste system.
Yeah. But
when you look at like the way that you have the God, good, I forgot their name. The Parks, the nice. Then you have the Kims live in the basement. Then you have, I forget what their names are.
They're under the basement.
They're literally on the sub level, under the basement. I didn't mean to.
I mean, they're mole people, but the rich people would call them that to dehumanize them.
Sure.
And we would call them that because like he literally can only survive if he's underground and his wife brings him like bananas or something.
And a baby bottle.
Right. I mean, the whole thing is just really sad. So.
There is I thought that I just, like we were saying before, the cinematography, the way, just the way everything was framed. I'll tell you, this is an interesting thing. When I was doing my notes, I'm going over my notes. And this is one thing that drives me nuts about IMDb. IMDb will autoplay like the trailer or whatever, like for the page that you're on. So obviously I'm doing notes for this, and I have the IMDb page for Parasite up, and I'm listening to music while I'm writing my stuff or typing my stuff, whatever, up, and the song from the Thompson Twins, "Lies," starts coming up, and I look up as I'm writing. I look up, and I'm watching the trailer because the trailer's playing on a loop for IMDb, and I was like, just listening to that song, and it's I was really noticing the cinematography with no other sound other than this music that's playing in my head, and I was just like, just the way the camera moves. Because actually, when I watched it, because this is the first time I had seen it, I almost didn't even really notice the camera moves, which is, I think that's a good thing sometimes. If you start to notice things like how the camera is moving too much, then you're like. It's like you're seeing the magician's trick,
which may be entertaining, but it isn't absorbing you the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I always think of the scene in Jackie Brown, where it's a scene that I love, but it's very much like you're noticing the trick, which is the scene in Jackie Brown where Sam Jackson puts Chris Tucker in the trunk of the car. He puts him in the trunk because they're going to go somewhere, but he's really going to kill him. Mm-hmm. He puts him in the trunk of the car, and he's playing that song, the Strawberry 23 song, I think it is. And he goes, and you hear the song, and you see the car like driving, and then the song kind of fades out. And as he's doing, the camera's craning up, and then you start to hear the music again. The music starting to come back, and you see all he did was he just drove around to an open field, and then you see the. And so it's this huge like crane shot now. It went from a street level shot to this huge crane so that you can see into the open field next to the street where they were just at. And he opens up the thing. He's like, motherfucker. And then he just shoots him you're like, and that's like a great, I love that shot, but it's like, you really notice that shot. You can't help but not notice it. And I didn't feel like I really noticed it until I just happened to be watching, I was out of place of the movie. I'd already seen the movie, so I was just writing my notes, and I kind of looked up and I was watching it, and like these like subtle like push ins and pull outs and just like the camera angles, like obviously they do the scene where the family, not only the Kims but also the Parks, looking out. This is a scene that we see multiple times throughout the movie, looking out into the backyard through that huge glass window, which is a great shot, and it's done different ways, and sometimes it's a bright sunlight, but specifically when they do the when it's like the thunderstorm, and they're looking out there. I mean, it's just an interesting shot, and I mean, I don't know. I'm just going on. I don't even have a point to that other than the fact that it's just like a great. It really lends itself to for a shot like that. So that's a shot they show multiple times, but they do such a good job of framing it, lighting it in such different ways that it's like I almost, until I thought about it, I didn't really think about how it is basically the same shot over and over again, but it's just through sort of the cinematography and how well that they did it. It's like you almost don't realize it's the same exact shot.
Right. Well, I mean, there's a lot of striking visual stuff in this movie.
Yes.
Have you seen? I don't guess you wouldn't have if you just saw it for the first time. It's out there and it's on the Criterion disc. There's actually a black and white version.
Oh, really?
The same way there's black and chrome editions of Fury Road and Furiosa. There's a noir version of Logan, and Godzilla Minus One was released. I actually saw it again in the theater.
Which one?
Godzilla Minus One was released as minus color, so it's black and white.
Interesting.
And that's the kind of thing. Like I have yet to see a black and white version of any of these films where I prefer it to the color version, but it is kind of a fun way to look at it.
They're releasing the there's that the Spider Noir TV show. They're going to release it in black and white as well as this takes place.
Is that
in
the
40s.
Nicolas Cage thing?
Yeah, that'll probably be weird.
And this is different than like Sin City or something, which is a black and white movie.
Yeah.
This is a movie that was deliberately and thoughtfully rethought as a black and white movie, as opposed to like they just there you go, as they just pulled it out. Yeah, the Criterion edition is amazing. It's really just beautiful. 4K transfers on a Blu-ray disc with Atmos, and even the black and white version has Atmos.
Oh, this is the Criterion. Oh man, I should get
that. It's beautiful packaging. It comes with a poster. So
toys. I love the toys.
I hate the posters just because it's got folds in it. What do I want to
I know, really. You have to go. Well, they do. You can steam them out, but
I was just going to say, what am I going to do? Iron it?
Yeah.
Well, you have kids. You can make them do that, right? Because you can make your kids work for you. Because you're the Parasite dad.
I know. I am the Parasite dad. I do. I know. That's like I have the one for Outland, which, by the way, get if you like
the one. What the poster?
Well, it has there's a poster inside the Outland.
Is it in a tube?
It's not.
Then who cares?
What? What is that from?
It's all folded.
Folded
poster. It's ridiculous.
I'm just, what do you call it? I got the anniversary edition of Highlander, and they have, so instead of a full poster, they have like these cards that are replicas of the poster, and I'm like, it's cool, but what am I supposed to do with that?
Yeah.
What am I going to do with it? Hey,
well,
you
should do what was discussed on the last episode of the Physical Media High Council episode of The Big Picture with Tracy Letts.
I did watch that.
People, and they were like, it comes with postcards. You put a stamp on it. Send it to your friends. So you could do that.
I must have missed that part. But I did watch that one.
The new one?
Maybe I didn't
one?
It
just came out like a couple weeks.
Maybe I didn't watch it. I watched the one with the guy with the one. It was the guy with the glasses and the hat. Tracy Letts, was Sean Fennessy, and then the actor guy.
Jonah from Veep. Yeah. The Hitmaker. Yeah.
Yeah, Hitmaker.
They got back together again. It's Chris is the other guy you're thinking of. He's the junior one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's the one.
I
He only has a couple thousand.
Well, I always thought I just love Tracy Letts. He's just a great writer and an actor and all this stuff. And then he's such a nerd for this stuff. And he said in this last one, he's like, I used to drink, and I realized I don't want to be the guy at the end of the bar who's being a dick. So I started buying movies, and if I add up all the money I spent on the movies, it is still less than if I'd spent the past like 30 years drinking. But I don't know if you ever saw his Criterion closet.
No.
He goes in there and he's like, I have, and not in a dick way. He's like, I have all of these movies. So I'm just going to tell you which ones you should watch. And it's like almost no one could get away with that because it's a kind of informed arrogance.
Yeah.
And he's so entertaining.
Hey, if they ever have Criterion Closet comes to Baltimore,
I would. No, they go on tour.
I know that. I know they have.
They
have like a mobile thing.
Yeah.
So,
I already know which ones I would get. We've all thought about it.
Oh, of course.
What if the Criterion Closet came? What would I get? So we figured it out.
Creepy.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway. So it's so funny. I feel like I thought it's like I don't know what it is, but it's like I like this movie like a lot, and it's like I thought I'd have more to say. I don't feel like I have a whole. I mean, like the production design was really cool. That house is a really cool one. Well, I thought like, oh, what about like even like the stuff like in like the Kim's house was like, how do you like that toilet?
No, it's vivid. The whole movie is all these Korean movies. Like no other choice. It's just vivid. It's gorgeous, even when it's ugly. It's amazing.
Very very surprised. My ADHD brain was fully expecting the slow-mo fight with the pissing guy to somehow come into play. Like that video. Yeah. I thought like somehow somebody was going to see it because it had the father and the son fighting the pissing guy, obviously in a poor part of town. And I was like, that's going to come into play. And it never did. I was like, oh, I needed that loop to be closed.
Well, the only thing that comes into play about it is it probably doesn't smell good.
That's true.
It smells like the pores.
God. Smells like the subway.
Ew.
Subway and
pores. I'll just sit here in my Indian headdress and scoff.
Well, that's his punishment.
Ugh, fuckers.
I know that's what Mr. Park's punishment was for cultural appropriation.
Jesus.
Death sentence.
So that is more contemporary.
Really? Well, only for him. If it was a white guy, he'd be fine. But because
they're in charge.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, I mean, I kind of thought. I mean, like everything is just like. I mean, I thought the score was
oh
good.
Yeah. This is a movie that in all departments is firing on all cylinders.
It's almost like this movie is like. It's good, so it's like there's almost not a whole lot to talk about. It's like this is good. It's
also what I like about it is you could look at his other movies, and he is not copying anybody at all. But you could look at The Host, and you could go, "That's very Spielberg monster movie." It even has the shot where the first time you see the monster, you don't see it running on camera. First, you see the faces of people by the river. Doing that Spielberg look of awe, and then when you reverse cut it, you're seeing it's relatively small, crawling out of the river and then running at them, and then people are like, "Oh!" and then they start running, and it feels very real. And Memories of Murder is, you could match that with Demi's Silence of the Lambs or something like that, but it's its own thing. This movie, I mean, I'm sure you can find references and stuff, but it just felt like its own crazy successful combinations of all these kinds of storytelling and acting and subjects, and it felt very like real and relatable, but it also felt very South Korean and authentically so. Like I was looking at capitalism, but I was also looking at what capitalism extremity looks like in this corner of the world. And this was the first non-English movie I think ever to win Best Picture. And that is a pretty good one. There's lots and lots of great films in foreign languages, obviously, but for this to break through was a big deal.
Well, that was one of the reasons why I was thinking about just that we should do the.
It was what I was hoping would happen with RRR, and it didn't, but it did win one Oscar.
So, was there anything else that you had to add that you wanted to bring up?
Just see it.
Yeah, definitely.
If I had known you had never seen this, like if you
Yes.
mentioned it 3 years ago, I would have said, Scott, you got to see this movie. It's
Yeah.
really good. But I'm glad that
it's
you.
one of those
I'm
ones
glad
I
that you
always
went.
wanted to see, and I was like,
Well, if this is on somebody out there, if somebody's listening to this and they're like, yeah, I've heard that's good, just bump it up the list.
yeah, definitely see this one.
We have on the show, we have seen movies that we like better than others, that we would recommend more than others. And if you look at all of the episodes we've done, this is our 45th.
Yeah.
46th episode.
45th.
If you say I'm going to only pick 2 of them, if you watch Parasite and Jason X, you are giving yourself a cinema treat, right?
No.
No, we've watched a lot of really good movies.
No,
and this is one of the best for sure.
Look, if you want to hear Hans Zimmer play the guitar, watch Jason X. Okay,
That's
Other
true.
than that, you can forget it. And you want to see
Forget it.
Forget about it. If you want to see what's his face? If you want to see oh God, what's the actor that's in the very beginning of Jason X? David Cronenberg.
Oh yeah.
Is he a David Cronenberg, a good David Cronenberg cameo? And
I prefer him in Last Night, but he is trashier in Jason X.
there you go.
God, Last Night is good.
All right. So I actually, did you have anything else to add other than that?
Just everybody, just see it. If you haven't
See
seen
it?
it, see it. If you have seen it, like I hadn't seen it in a number of years.
Yes.
Totally. And I mean, I bought it and hadn't watched it. It's been sitting on my shelf. So
No,
I was like, I better do a podcast so I have a reason to sit down and watch
This is a good one. This is a good one. Well, then I will say that's a wrap then on Parasite, and we'll be back next week. Is what's it? Secret Agent. Secret Agent is
From
and
last year's
yes, and that
Oscars
was
race.
that was a what's his name? Warner what? The guy that was nominated for Best Actor.
Wagner Moura.
Wagner, not Warner. I'm thinking
Wagner Moura, the Brazilian actor who played Escobar in Netflix's
Yes.
Narcos, which I saw the first season of, and I thought he was very good, except he's Brazilian and he
Yeah.
speaks Portuguese, and apparently his Spanish was like learned phonetically.
Uh-huh.
So if you don't speak either of those languages, you're like, what a great performance that sounds like a person.
Yeah.
If you know either of those languages, apparently you're like, what a great performance by someone who doesn't speak that language at all.
Yeah.
And I liked him in Elysium and a lot of other stuff. And so when I saw he was in that movie, I have not seen it. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
He was good in. I
believe it's available on Hulu.
Civil War.
Oh, right. Yeah, he's great in Civil War.
Yeah.
Another movie that has no relevance at all to today's current events.
Nope. So
I'll totally do that movie if you're brave enough.
well,
So good.
I don't want to see. I don't want to see.
So good.
What's his face? Oh God, what's the character's name from Parks and Rec that the president plays?
Oh, Nick Offerman.
Yeah, what's Ron
Swanson.
Ron Swanson.
Yeah,
I wanna
Ron
see
Swanson's a lot better than of a politician and a person than the president. The big fat president with a red tie that does things like abolish the FBI and led airstrikes on American citizens. I don't know who that's supposed to be.
I don't know. So I will say this. Hey, you know what? If you enjoy this podcast, make sure you follow it on your favorite platform. If
You can still leave comments.
Stumbled
that are
upon
negative.
it somehow. Also, you can follow us directly at storypunk.com. You can find our Instagram page at storypunkpod, or you can also see us we're on Facebook. And if you would like to see silly reviews, especially my very in-depth and thoughtful Wonder Boys review on Letterboxd.
It's very
very
clear.
thoughtful.
I like
and
it.
very thoughtful and directed to the point, and you won't have to spend a lot of time reading it. I am Storypunk Scott on Letterboxd, and Drew is on Letterboxd as well.
solid gold.
And with that, I will say, remember that story matters.